Going. All right, well, hi, thanks everyone for being here. We have a small group to get started, but hopefully some more people will join us. And we also are recording this so it can be archived, and the recording will be made available to lots of people. So timely subject for us here today, which is summer reading resources. And Lillich, who is Outreach Coordinator for the National Network of Libraries of Medicine, is here with us to present, and she is going to give us an introduction to all kinds of fun and interactive health resources for children and teens on nutrition and sports and healthy living. So very related to our summer reading theme this year, and lots of great ideas that you can use for programming with kids and teens this summer. And then also, Alicia might talk to us just a little bit about what else she does for the National Network of Libraries of Medicine. She offers lots of different kinds of resources and classes of interest to not only librarians, but the public. So Alicia, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Well, thanks so much for having me. Hi, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Alicia Lillich, and I'm the Kansas Outreach Coordinator for the National Network of Libraries of Medicine. We're basically the outreach arm of the National Library of Medicine, and I'm still based here in Kansas City, the University of Kansas Medical Center. And my job is basically to promote and provide training on free health-related resources, and I provide these trainings and share information throughout the state. So this session is being recorded, and I'm going to be showing you screenshots from different websites that we'll be visiting, and I will show you a lot. So you don't need to take notes. There's a handout that's been uploaded to the website that has links to all the resources that I'll be talking about today. So to get started, let's see here. I'm going to begin by sharing some information from Medline Plus, resources and ideas for materials that you can use to align with the overall summer reading theme of wellness, fitness, and sports. And I will just add, if at any point you guys have questions, feel free to raise your hand, throw something out in the chat box, unmute yourself. I'm not shy. You won't disrupt me. So let's show you real quick Medline Plus. This is the National Institutes of Health website for patients, families, and friends. It's produced by the National Library of Medicine, which is the world's largest biomedical library. And Medline Plus brings information about diseases, conditions, and wellness issues in a language you can understand. It offers reliable, up-to-date health information anytime, anywhere, and it's completely free. And you can access it just by going to medlineplus.gov. It even works on your cell phone, tablet. And so I'm going to be showing you some health topic pages within Medline Plus that can link to games and resources that can be used with youth along with the summer reading theme. So to get started, this is the Medline Plus Children's page. And this links to a variety of health-related resources such as quizzes, games, and children's websites from agencies like the Centers for Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration, and other reliable organizations. So this is one called Fight Back, and it's from the Partnership for Food Safety Education. It's a food detective game, which helps children understand the importance of keeping food at the correct temperatures and talks about the harmful effects of food bacteria in a fun and engaging manner. So this has 4 cases about foodborne illnesses that kids can solve along with the characters in the game. Another example on this website is another food bacteria game, which has a quick lesson on food safety for kids to review, and then they can play the game. It talks about where bacteria is found, discusses safe hand washing practices, and it's appropriate for children who are able to read on their own because it's a lot of questions that they'll need to follow through. But these are just some fun resources that you don't necessarily have to have a program for, but you can share on your website or have as a supplement to a program. For younger children, one thing that might come to mind is sleep when we're thinking about overall wellness. So this is a site from the National Sleep Foundation, and it has several printable games and puzzles, like a crossword puzzle or memory card game that you can print out and have caregivers play with kids after you maybe read some books on sleep from your library collection. And there's also dental information. Dentistry is an important part of health. This is from the American Dental Association, and it's an online game called To Tell the Tooth. It has a page, a menu at the top of the page, and you can see additional resources like activity sheets, coloring and count sheets, word searches, crossword puzzles. There's even a Sesame Street activity that has these different types of Sesame Street themed sheets for children ages 2 to 5. So you can get young kids involved as well. And then the Kids Health website from the Nemours Foundation has this kids medical dictionary. So it's a good resource to use when you're looking for health-related terminology. So what I've heard from a lot of public libraries and schools is that they'll use these medical dictionary terms for a game like Hangman or Jeopardy. And you can go online and print Hangman templates or have flashcards with the terms for the kids to use. You could even laminate your Hangman templates so you can reuse them over and over again. And just wanted to point out that on the Medline Plus Children's page, there's also a link to Talks Mystery from the National Library of Medicine. And this is an online game that teaches children ages 5 to 11 about chemical hazards that can be found in the home. It's a really excellent way to introduce environmental health to children. And it also includes crossword puzzles, fill in the blanks, and other handouts that can be used with children. So I think nutrition is a really important part of overall wellness. And Medline Plus does have a child nutrition health topic page that can link you to additional resources. This is From the Label to the Table. And this is part of a website from the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. And this includes information for youth that teaches about food labels. So you could put together an activity where you gather boxes, tins, bottles, different types of food, and see how healthier and healthy some of their favorite snacks are. What some libraries I've seen have done is they'll actually go to a convenience store or a vending machine and take the food labels to kind of compare and contrast. But on this website, there's a fun and games section. You can find things like jokes, riddles, brain teasers, optical illusions, lots of things you can print out or incorporate into a nutrition program. The child nutrition page also links to information from choosemyplate.gov, and that's part of the United States Department of Agriculture. And this has a lot of really great resources for children: mazes, coloring sheets, word puzzles. There's also handouts that you can distribute to parents to encourage healthy eating at home. So this is a really good website if you're planning to do a program that has anything to do with food. And just like there's a page for children's health on Medline Plus, there's also a teen health page. The two pages are pretty different. This one is going to focus on topics that's relevant for teens. So this is actually more for a teen to look at rather than a parent to use. So it'll include things like healthy eating, physical fitness, substance abuse, and sexual health resources. A really good teen resource is the NETA for Teens website. NETA is the National Institute on Drug Abuse, one of the National Institutes of Health. And they've put together this website for middle and high school students and their teachers to provide accurate and timely information for use in and out of the classroom. So it's organized to offer students a range of educational information to learn facts about drugs and neuroscience. So it combines the two. And it supports educators and parents as they facilitate their student learning. So it has a lot of really good engaging multimedia activities, everything from the basics of drug use to more sophisticated neuroscience topics. And they're designed for teens to explore independently. So that's something you could kind of have up on a computer or link to on your website. It does have an educators page, which has teaching guides, how to facilitate students' use of these interactive tools. And then they also have in-classroom activities that you could really modify for a program. Mind over matter, heads up, real news about drugs in your body. And there's also additional classroom activities organized by things like drug topics, statistics, and you can order free materials from here as well to just have handy if you're doing any type of drug programming. So now I'm going to kind of switch gears and just talk about places you can different resources you can find to find activities. Maybe it might take a little creative thinking on how to incorporate these. So I mentioned that choosemyplate.gov website before, and this has a bunch of printable materials there as well. So you can locate information on healthy eating and physical activity here. And it has a children or preschooler section with coloring sheets. But if your library serves like a Latino population, there's a healthy, tasty, and affordable Latin cooking resource that is printable, or you can order from them. So that's a really neat resource to have if you're doing anything nutrition-wise. Medline Plus links to this Kids Health page from the Nemours Foundation. And this is just such a good resource for kid-friendly health information. And it has not just health, but also sports topics. So this page here has some different things like reasons why girls should play sports. This has a boys in puberty section. And this is a lot of resources that you could actually print out or link to, just as a supplement to programming. They also have some quizzes included on their page that could just be a fun addition, like one on baseball injuries. So if you're talking about maybe the Royals, you could throw that in there, be a fun little addition to a program. But what I really like on Kids Health that I'm thinking of for summer reading is their recipes and cooking resources. You know, nutrition, again, is just such a big part of wellness and fitness. So some of these recipes could actually be prepared in a library during a program. You could kind of do a healthy eating section. So here's something, the chocolate sweetheart parfait. And it's a healthy twist on, you know, something normally pretty unhealthy. So they take low fat or fat-free yogurt, just a little bit of cocoa powder, instead of, you know, ice cream and strawberry syrup. And these are just one of many no-cook recipes. And I'd suggest if you're interested in doing a program with this, you could probably talk to your local grocery store or another business to see if they donate ingredients or money to purchase food for this type of program. Oh, and here's one more, cream cheesy cucumber sandwiches. Try and get kids to eat cucumbers. It's sometimes difficult, but this is a pretty fun one. So the Teens Health website, also by Nemours, is a separate URL. And it does have very similar resources geared towards kids. They do have a guide for eating, for sports, quizzes, and other activities. And they also have recipes which are different from the Kids Health website. So these are some no-cook, no-heat recipes that are kind of just fun things that you could share with Nutrition Facts if you're working with teens. Maybe if you're going to do something like this, though, go ahead and cut up all the ingredients in advance and maybe have a list of the ingredients ready in case of food allergies. But that's another good place to just get some fun nutrition ideas. I'm a big fan of the PBS for Parents website. And this has a lot of fun arts and crafts ideas for outdoor fun. So if you have the space for an outdoor program, you can maybe create an obstacle course really inexpensively. So this website has tons of resources. I just highlighted a few of them. One that I've seen done in the past is the jump rope. It's a jump rope made out of old plastic bags that you get at the grocery store. So it's an eco-friendly craft. It promotes exercise, keeps kids involved, and there's different things like hula hoop, obstacle course. You could do this with stuff you might have at your house or on hand at the library. So I'm also going to talk about some of the National Institutes of Health national health campaigns. So these have a lot of materials that you can print or request at low cost for any health outreach or program that you might want to do at your library. So the first one I'm going to show you is We Can, and this is from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, and it has a section on ways to enhance children's activity and nutrition. So this is a national public education outreach program. It focuses on parents, youth, families, and homes and community settings, and it's specifically designed to help children ages 8 through 13 maintain a healthy weight through behavioral objectives, such as eating right, moving more, and reducing screen time. So they offer organizations and community groups a centralized resource to promote healthy weight in youth. They do this through community outreach, partnership development, and media activities, and you can adapt these to meet your audience. So they also have a lot of fun family recipes. A really neat program idea I saw is they actually just printed out the recipes with younger kids and had them create a recipe book by gluing the pre-printed recipes to cardstock. Then they made one in the program, and then they actually could bring this recipe book home to share with their family. So you could really look at some of the resources on this website and get some ideas for creative ways to use them. Another really big national health campaign is Let's Move, and this is launched by the First Lady, Michelle Obama, back in 2010. And this is dedicated to solving the challenge of childhood obesity. And they want a very good goal. They want to solve it within a generation so that children born today grow up healthier and able to pursue their dreams. So it has comprehensive strategies and just common sense. It's about putting children on the path to a healthy future. So some suggestions from here are to create a competition for families to encourage an increase in physical activity and healthy eating. So maybe working on a craft like a stamp card that you could stamp whenever kids check out books on health and wellness topics, or having prizes for reading books, just like you would do with a traditional summer reading program, but add boxes for every time they do an outdoor activity, such as walking or riding their bike to the library. And then depending on the space you have, maybe you could have a physical activity station. So some of the stuff we showed before, the jump rope or the hula hoops, you could have like a little station in the library, and they could earn stamps towards a raffle prize at the end of summer reading program. And, you know, don't be afraid to ask. Maybe a local store might be willing to donate some hula hoops or jump ropes, bikes, even helmets as a prize. This is another really interesting campaign. It's called Media Smart Youth. And this is actually set up as an after-school nutrition and physical activity program, specifically for children ages 11 to 13. And it goes into detail about the complex media world and how it can affect health. So all of us who spend all day looking at our screens or in front of a computer understand that, yeah, it can definitely affect our health some way. So this Media Smart Youth program is trying to empower youth to think about these media messages, make healthy food choices, and be physically active. And it is sponsored from the National Institutes of Health. Just really wants them to think critically about that media role in influencing their health. So some ideas from this website would be having youth create their own healthy media messages, and you could display them around this library during the summer. But this whole campaign has an entire curriculum that you could kind of pick and choose parts from to include in your programming. A lot of really good ideas found there. So the National Institute for Drug Abuse has a Pure X campaign. It specifically focuses on looking at prescription drug abuse among teens, which, is a pretty significant problem, but it can be really related out into any type of Just Say No programming. But the Pure X program aims to empower teenagers to avoid prescription drug abuse. And they have a download section on their page that has t-shirt iron-ons, posters, stickers, avatars that they could use electronically. So a programming idea that they suggest is to have participants bring their own t-shirts or maybe like a duffel bag, and then you could print out some iron-on designs and work on ironing them on. They could also create and personalize their own iron-on shirts with their own message. And another neat idea I saw is to use some of these sticker and avatar design to make one of those fortune teller paper folding things. So that could be another way to incorporate just an activity into some of your programming. So when we're talking about all this stuff, my organization is really big on building collaborations, and there's a lot of community organizations that would love to be involved in some healthy summer activities, and it's definitely not too late to start asking. So these are just some of the different places you could go to see if they maybe help with materials or have a speaker come out. A lot of great ways to partner with your community. Hospitals, clinics, healthcare providers. When I've seen libraries do the nutrition labels activity in the past, where they go over nutrition labels, they've actually invited a nutritionist from a hospital or a healthcare center to come, and people love to do that type of outreach. I've always seen that work out really well. Police and fire departments love to talk about health and safety, environmental health. Again, the public health department might be interested in that sort of thing. But you can also consider partnering with other public libraries. Maybe you have a small branch, so you could kind of get together and do a group presentation in one area, and share a presenter. Or maybe you have your like a larger area, so you can use your space for inviting participants from multiple libraries. And then, you could advertise these events in your community. Public health departments actually love to get flyers for library presentations, maybe like a YMCA, local gym, churches, community colleges, anyone who has a health science or health professional program. There's a lot of different partnership opportunities, so I just strongly suggest that. And if you need help coming up with ideas for that or want some introductions, I'm actually happy to do that. I have a lot of contacts with public health and health organizations. So the last thing I'm going to delve into, and I'll go into this in a bit more detail since we're going pretty early today, are resources to create activity sheets and games. So I think it's a really great, you probably have a lot of programming already set, but just to have some kind of something available for people to work on if they get there early or to bring home with them. So Puzzle Maker is from Discovery Education, and this is just a great place to make crossword puzzles. These are all resources geared towards teachers, but feel free to take advantage of them. The Teachers Corner also does printable worksheets that you can modify for your programming. There's a Mad Lib generator from Project Labyrinth. And some of my colleagues in a different region actually set up, I have a URL linked here and on the handout, a specific Medline Plus sports and fitness Mad Lib. So you can see it on here. Unicorns can be a great way to get in shape or stay that way. Having a specific umbrella could be a great motivator. Just a fun little online activity that you could have up on a computer prior or after a program, or just link to on a website or social media. And then Make Believe's Comics is one of many comic book generators that you can use to kind of put together some fun ideas or use in a program. So I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys with all of these resources. There's just a ton of really good information there, and feel free to use it. They're all free and publicly available, so don't hesitate. So my name is Alicia Lillich, and again, I'm the Kansas Outreach Coordinator. And I have a URL listed here for my organization. And if you're interested in handouts on any of the National Library of Medicine programs, training, I could come to your library or do an online training like this for your staff. You can go to that website or get in contact with me by email, and I'd be happy to help with that. So that was really quick, not a full hour for sure. But do any of you guys have questions?
Alicia, this is Anna. I just wanted to jump in and say we promised everything to be less than an hour, so that's perfect.
Perfect, great.
Yeah. We just wanted to make sure to give people resources and make it quick. So thank you for what you shared, and I just kind of wanted to mention to people too, what you did today was really specific to summer reading, but there are lots of other subjects that you can talk about, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I really am a resource for National Library of Medicine products, but we touch on a lot of other things like CDC, other health organizations, and with consumer health, things like resources for seniors, not just children, or maybe working with, we call them limited English proficiency users. I have a lot of resources for that as well. So feel free to get in touch if you have any health-related queries, need help with some programming. That's what I'm here for.
Cool. Well, I don't see any questions in chat at the moment, but we did have a comment that this was an awesome set of resources. So thank you for sharing those.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. And just a reminder to everybody that on the NEKLS website, we do have a link to Alicia's PDFs that lists all of the links that she talked about. So everything's there, and you can download that and have that on hand for as you plan and implement your programs.
All right, well, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much, Alicia.
Thank you.